Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian. I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here on the west coast of Canada. I hope everybody is having a great week thus far. I hope you're being productive and feeling happy. Students, in this class we are looking at IELTS reading for a 9 for that band 9. Specifically, our reading topic today will be about a mirage. If that is a new word for you, that is absolutely okay, because you will have a clear understanding of what a mirage is by the end of this class. Welcome, Arda. Hi, Cass. All right. So students, again, this is March 10th. This is a members chat class. In order to join this chat, you need to become a member by clicking the join button next to the subscribe button. And we will have an all chat reading class coming up in 90 minutes. Hi Cass, I haven't checked emails yet, but I will. If I don't get back to you within the next 24 hours, make sure to send me a reminder. Welcome, Chandra. All right, everyone. This lesson is presented to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS. Visit us there. This reading passage is for academic IELTS, but section 3 in the general IELTS is very similar in the reading to the academic IELTS passages. So this is still very, very useful for students who are doing the general IELTS. You can kind of consider it like a section 3 reading passage in the general IELTS. For general IELTS, visit us at gieltshelp.com, where you can get lots of materials for that version of the test. We've got over 400 slides of an interactive course there, original practice exams, and lots more. Let me show you real quick what those look like. We'll be using this today actually for our reading a bit, this website. This is our academic IELTS website here at aehelp.com. Click this big red button to join our premium IELTS course. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access, and we're an official IELTS Registration Center certified agents. For general IELTS, it's the green background. Again, click this big red button there. Welcome, Saeed, Bakrat, Rashika. Good to see more members coming into the class. Students, we do have apps, Academic IELTS Help, General IELTS Help in your app store, and Instagram, IELTS _ AE Help, GIELTS Help. Join us. Begin learning for success. All right. Questions? Send me an email, Adrian to aehelp.com. Again, we've got a reading class right now and then another one afterwards where everybody will be able to join the chat, and then we'll have more classes throughout the week. For now, let's start by reading this passage together and visualizing. Okay, so for practice purposes, we are going to read the passage with a British speaker about a mirage. And then we will look at the passage together in more detail and answer the question. So that's what we're going to do for practice in this class today. And again, visualize. So really try to see the information in this passage. All right, and if you have a headset, it's definitely not a bad idea to use it. So here we go, everyone. This is a list of headings for the first question. And when you see a list of headings question like this at the beginning, it's at the start of the passage because they want you to read it before the passage. Now, as you're looking at this passage, you can see that you have a little picture here to help you. So this is about a mirage. And this is a mirage. So what do we see here? We see a desert with a blue sky and what looks like some water in the distance. And that water in the distance that we think is water, that's what we call a mirage. So then we look at the list of headings And we can see number 1, just read through these with me for now. So again, this is reading practice. We're reading aloud. Hopefully you are in a place where you can read with your loud voice, not just the voice inside your head. Okay. All right. So we've got windows, mirrors, and hallucinations, how the brain processes mirages, temperature gradients, filmable, but ultimately up to the mind, a common experience of a mirage, the need for water, the cause of mirages, true hallucinations, an adventurer sees something, the difference between two phenomenon, the fallible human mind. So right now I just read these and I get a little bit of an idea of what some of this passage might be about. And then I start to read. Now, when you're practicing with our IELTS materials, I highly recommend going to the website, logging into your My Student account. And of course, you have all of your practice exams in PDF format here. Okay. You also have them in computer-based format here. And then you have the audio materials here for these passages. So this particular passage is passage 5. So this will be track 7. So get ready to read, everybody. This is going to be a British reader. And then I will actually ask volunteers, members, to read the passage while we answer these questions, okay? So here we go. Let's do this together. So CD5, track 7 should be about Mirage.
Mirages. A man is walking in a desert in dire need of water. Up ahead, he sees what seems to be a lake or a pond. Excited. Up ahead, he sees what seems to be a lake.
Okay, here we go.
Mirages. A man is walking in a desert in dire need of water. Up ahead, he sees what seems to be a lake or a pond. Excited, he runs towards the source of water. He gets closer, but the water disappears. He looks again, and the water reappears, but it is in the distance once again. He runs once more, but his efforts are futile. The water is not there. The man is not going mad. In fact, there is nothing wrong with him or his vision at all. What he has seen is called a mirage. Mirages are optical illusions caused by atmospheric conditions, which play tricks on the brain's visual system. Importantly, they are not hallucinations. Hallucinations are fabrications, while mirages are a result of phenomena in the real world. Another way to look at the difference between hallucinations and mirages is that mirages will be seen by any observer. Hallucinations, conversely, exist only in the mind of the person hallucinating. While the man walking in the desert anecdote is a popular mirage narrative, the most common mirage in everyday life actually takes place on long, straight, flat highways on hot, sunny days. Driving along such a highway on such a day, it is common to see what looks like a puddle of water on the road in the distance. But once that point is reached, the puddle is gone, and instead, located further in the distance, what is going on here? The cause of mirages is the difference in heat between the ground and the air. Tarmac, the surface material of highways, can get very hot in the summer and releases heat, raising the temperature of the air immediately above the tarmac. the air higher up is much cooler, so there is a sharp temperature gradient, or rate of change, in the air above the highway. It is known from physics that light is refracted or bent differently through air at different temperatures. The sharp temperature gradient in the air immediately above the highway causes the light rays to bend upwards towards the cooler, denser air. Because the human visual system interprets all light rays as being straight, which in general is true, we interpret these bent rays as originating from the ground. What is seen on the road in the distance is simply a reflection of the sky on the ground, which from afar looks precisely like a puddle of water in the middle of the road. That humans see the phenomenon as a puddle of water is not a coincidence, however. It is the result of a rapid problem-solving process in the brain, which attempts to make sense of conflicting phenomena. Since humans are not accustomed to seeing non-straight light rays, the brain must make sense of them as best it can. Water on the highway is not the only explanation for what the mind sees ahead. A window pane or a mirror may be on the road instead. If there was a large mirror on the road, for example, the visual phenomenon would be identical. The driver would see a reflection of the sky on the road in the distance. So why is it that we always interpret the mirage as water on the road and not a mirror in the road or something else? It is because the brain, without consciously thinking, makes the best inference it can. The average person in their catalogue of experiences does not have a real, non-mirage experience of seeing a mirror in the middle of a highway. Conversely, the average person does have a real experience of seeing a puddle on the highway. Any sufficiently rainy day will produce this effect. The brain compares the probabilities of these two and other possibilities and concludes that the phenomenon must be a puddle of water. Knowing that the water is not in fact there does nothing to dispel us from the visual impression that water is on the highway. The brain's visual machinery is not subject to the logic of the rest of the brain. No matter how hard a person tries to unsee a mirage, it will always be there. Interestingly, mirages can actually be captured on film because the refracted light rays really are forming an image on the road. What the false image is mistaken for, however, is entirely up to the interpretation of the human mind.
All right, students, so that is a reading passage 3 for academic IELTS. It could also be, like I said, excuse me, must be the truth. It could also be reading section 3 for the general IELTS. So make sure you're ready for it. Very typical kind of reading passage here. And now what we're going to do, members, is we're going to do the list of headings questions together. Thank you, Arda. So we're going to do the list of headings questions together. And for this, I'm going to get some members to volunteer for reading. Okay, so if you didn't catch all of the information the first time, it's okay. We will go through each paragraph again, but this time we will also answer the questions in the reading passage. So follow these steps to read. Again, it's the same as for volunteering for the speaking. So register a free or paid account at aehelp.com. Go to your My Student account, click on Student Partner Speaking, make sure to enable your microphone and speaker on your browser, keep the window open, and then just message me saying, I want to volunteer. You'll see me as Master in here. So again, go to the website and I will show you, we'll talk about this, okay? So we're going to do this together, no need to panic. I will guide you. So again, go to the website, go to log in, and then click on this student partner speaking after you have an account. And I think most of our members have an account, but for everybody who's watching right now, when we do our reading class next after this one for the next passage, you will be able to do the same. So take these steps to read. Okay, and I will give you some feedback on your reading as well. So click on that student partner speaking. Okay, click the I accept. And then you'll be in here. And I can already see that we have Mangu Berdi in here, and we have Arda in here. Arda is one of our members. So Arda, if you'd like to start this passage off, it's absolutely possible. By the way, welcome back, Baljeet. I see that you just registered again, so that's great. Okay. Magumberdi, if you're not a member, please do not call me. This is for members, this class. If you're a member, let me know what your member name is. All right. Let me reach out to Arda here, see if Arda would like to volunteer. And the first paragraph is very easy, so it's whoever starts would be a good one. So would you like to volunteer to read a paragraph? Okay, so this time I'm messaging Arda. Hopefully we can get Arda going here. So yeah, Magumberdi, this is a members chat class, but you'll be welcome to volunteer in the next one. Okay, all right. So again, I'm going to show you exactly how to do list of headings, okay? The strategy for list of headings. Cassandra, I see that you have your IELTS exam coming up, so I highly recommend volunteering if you can for this, because it's almost for sure that you will be getting a list of headings question in reading. So this will give you a really good chance to figure out how to solve this kind of question. Okay. All right. So again, please don't call me students. This is for members only, this chat first. So I'm giving members a chance. And if no member volunteers, then I will take other students just to show you how to do this or prove a point with the students. Okay. All right. Sanjay says, my name is Sanju on the website. Okay, Sanju, I don't see you yet, though. So, okay, Cass. All right. And then in the next class, you can volunteer. All right. So, let's see some volunteers here. All right, well, if no member wants to volunteer, then I will certainly give a chance. Oh, okay, Arda, you said I would like to. All right, I don't know why I don't see your message here, so let's see.
Hello.
Hi, Arda.
How are you doing?
Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. I have 4 days off school because of the winter storm in Turkey.
Oh, there's a storm going on in Turkey.
Yeah, there's a winter storm here, which is kind of cool because I don't have school.
Okay, it gives you a nice little bit of extra break.
Yeah.
All right. One of my colleagues who's in Turkey was planning to go skiing, so I think he's going to delay his trip. All right. Okay, Arda, cool. So let's do some reading, and I'm going to show you and our viewers how to do this list of headings type question, okay?
Okay.
All right, so we're just going to hop back to the exam book here. Give me 2 seconds. All right, and here we are, back to Mirages. Okay, so here we go. If you can, please read paragraph A nice and loud and really pay attention to what you're reading, okay, while you're doing this.
Yep.
So you can see beside me here, it starts with, a man is walking in a desert. So whenever you're ready, just read that paragraph nice and loud.
Sure. A man is walking in a desert in dire need of water. Up ahead he sees what seems to be a lake or a pond. Excited, he runs towards the source of water. He gets closer, but the water disappears. He looks again, and the water reappears. But it is in the distance once again. He runs once more, but his efforts are futile. The water is not there.
Okay, good. All right. So nice short paragraph to start. Perfect. Now, when you're in the IELTS and you're doing list of headings questions, you read just like that. You do not need to read any faster. And you're doing a good job reading with the punctuation. So I really like how you read with the commas, with the periods. Nice reading. That's exactly the way the author meant this to sound. So good job there. Now, when you finish the paragraph, when you have a list of headings questions, at this point, you want to ask yourself, what is this paragraph about? And stick to the information. So don't add your own information. Don't lose information from the paragraph. But in a couple of words, 2, 3, 4, 5 words, summarize what this paragraph is about. So what is this paragraph about in your own words?
This is kind of an introduction about mirages. Like, yeah.
Okay, so that, Arda, would be your interpretation of this introductory paragraph. But you don't want to interpret the paragraph for list of headings questions. You simply want to say exactly what it says. So here we have the expression in English, you want to call a spade a spade. It comes from playing cards. So just say what it is exactly. So let's say you don't know that this passage is about mirages yet, or any more information. Just keep it simple. So what is this paragraph about? If I'm looking at you with this blank stare going, oh, I don't know anything about the world, Arda, can you tell me what this paragraph is about? In a very simple way, tell me what this paragraph is about.
I'll do that. A man in a desert thinks there's a source of water, but actually there is not.
Perfect. Okay, that's what the paragraph is saying. So now you're not interpreting, but you're explicitly saying what the paragraph is saying, right? So there's a man lost in the desert, thinks he sees some water, but it's not really there. Okay, good. Now we go back to the list of headings, okay? And now look at these list of headings and tell me which one you think matches closest to what you just told me. Man lost in the desert thinks he sees...
It should be 9.
Okay, so that was very, very fast, right? Can you read number 9 for us?
An adventurer sees something.
Yeah, exactly, right? So the man is the adventurer, and the sees something is what he believes is water, but is probably something else, right? So it's an adventurer sees something. Exactly. So that is the correct answer for paragraph A. So for paragraph A on your exam now, you would put in IX and then you would move on. Okay. So you did a good job, and clearly you understood the paragraph. Now, IELTS is a thinking exam. So to get a band 9, you have to really stay logical and critical throughout the test. And in this case, Arda, for you, the most important point to learn is don't interpret for list of headings, but just say it for what it is, okay? Keep to the basics, all right? So this would be the adventure, because if you say like it's a basic introduction to mirages, you might make a mistake and pick one of these other ones, like how the brain processes mirages, or a common experience of a mirage, or something like that. Okay.
True.
So you have to be careful. Okay. All right.
Yep.
All right. Okay. Perfect. Thank you for volunteering. I'll get somebody to read the next paragraph, and I hope you have a good break with the with the storm going on in Turkey. Thank you, Arda.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, bye. All right, so that was Arda, everyone. I appreciate Arda for being the first volunteer. Okay, so let's have another volunteer. Hopefully we have some more. There we go. Okay, now we have some more of our members in here. I see Saeed has joined, so let me see if Saeed is ready. Okay, I'd love to read. All right, Saeed, good. So are you ready? Okay. All right, so we're going to keep going with these list of headings, and I'm going to show you further with other students how this is done. Okay, here we go.
Hello, sir.
Hi, Saeed. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you, sir?
I'm doing pretty good as well. Thank you for asking. Okay, Saeed, so the same thing that Arda was just doing right now. So I'm going to ask you to read a paragraph nice and loud. Okay, and then we'll do the list of headings question together after. Sounds good?
I'm sorry.
All right.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. Let me just hop back to the text. And then we'll go with paragraph B. Okay, here we go. So from "The man is not going mad," anytime that you're ready.
All right. Can I start?
Yes.
The man is not going mad. In fact, there is nothing wrong with him or his vision at all. What he has seen is called a mirage. Mirages are optical illusions caused by atmospheric conditions which play tricks on the brain's visual system. Importantly, they are not hallucinations. Hallucinations are fabrications, while mirages are a result of phenomena in the real world. Another way to look at the differences between hallucinations and mirages is that mirages will be seen by any observer. Hallucinations, conversely, exist only in the mind of the person hallucinating.
Okay, good. All right, Saeed. So nice reading, good speed. Yeah, you got kind of stuck on that one word, hallucinations, but that's
Hallucination.
yeah, but it's totally okay. And I like how you just kind of read through it. You're like, whatever, I don't know the pronunciation of this word, so I'm going to do my best and just keep reading. That's exactly what you want to do in the IELTS, okay? So when you come across a word that you're unfamiliar with, don't panic. Just read through it, and it will maybe eventually make sense from context. So don't worry too much about that. Okay. All right. So let's repeat the same question as before. So what is this paragraph about? So in your opinion, in a very simple way, within a sentence, what is this paragraph telling you? What is this about?
Well, firstly, it was telling what mirages actually are, and then it was telling about the differences between hallucinations and mirages, actually.
Yeah, so it's telling you the difference between a mirage and a hallucination, right? Okay, very, very good. Now, if you're practicing at home or if you're practicing with a partner for the IELTS and you both have read this paragraph, you might want to ask one more question and ask each other what that difference is. But for list of headings, don't do anything else. Just keep it really simple. And you said, okay, it's the difference between hallucinations and mirages. So now let's go back to the list of headings and tell me which one you think is the closest match.
Well, it's actually already been done, so that's 10.
Yeah, so exactly. So the example. Now, when you're doing an IELTS exam, a practice exam at home, for instance, it's actually a good idea to ignore the given example and see if you can find it and match it, because that gives you an idea that you're doing this well. Okay. So can you read the answer for us, please?
Yeah. The difference between two phenomena.
Yeah, one being a mirage and the other being the hallucination, right? So the two phenomenon is what's paraphrasing the words mirage and hallucination. And the key here is coming up with the word difference. So you realize that this paragraph is focusing on a comparison, on a difference, right? So that will allow you to match the right answer, which in this case is X. Okay. All right. Now, again, if you're practicing at home, you might want to take this one step further, especially if you are doing this in a classroom with a partner or at home with a friend. You might want to ask, what is the difference? So let's say I'm your study partner, and I would now ask you, Saeed, what is the difference between a hallucination and a mirage?
Well, I suppose I can't really remember what was the differences actually. I guess that is because of the causes, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. The causes, right. So, good. What causes a mirage?
Uh, I
It's
can't
right
really
here.
remember what
I'm
was
going
that
to give
about.
you a little bit of help here. Don't worry about it. It's right here.
1 second. Mirages will be seen by any observer, but hallucinations can. All right. Like mirages can be seen by anyone, but hallucinations is only in the mind of the person.
Yeah, exactly. So hallucinations are imagined, right? So when people do drugs,
Yeah.
certain types of drugs, they have hallucinations of pink elephants flying, for example, right? But they're the only ones that see it. But mirages, it's caused by atmospheric conditions. So we all see it. So we can all see that puddle of water in the distance. Exactly.
Hallucination is like illusion, yeah?
Yes, exactly. It's an illusion within the mind, right? Exactly. Okay. And there's another interesting word. It's called delusion. So it's not the same as a hallucination. It's a delusion. Hallucination is when we know that our mind is making it up. A delusion is when our mind is making it up and we actually believe that it's true.
That is true.
Yeah. So we see pink elephants and we go try to catch one because we think they're really there. That's a delusion. Okay. All right. So good reading, Saeed. Thank you for that. I'm going to keep going with these list of headings here. And now you have the right idea. So this is what you want to practice. Okay.
All right. Appreciate it, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. So let's take another volunteer. Goodbye, Saeed. All right. Let's see. Do we have anybody else here volunteering? Andre, Carolina, Bharat, Sanjay. Let's go. Come on, somebody volunteer. If I don't see another member volunteering here, I'll take somebody else. So if no members raise their hands, then we can take a drop-in student who is just maybe in the chat to volunteer. Let me refresh this page here. Maybe I'm not seeing it. And be brave, students. So by being brave and by reading, putting yourself out there, that's how you learn. That's how you improve. Yeah, Bharat, I see that you said you can't. Yes, Saeed. I was hoping that you were okay there. I heard your microphone slip. Okay. All right, there was Mungo Berti was trying to volunteer earlier. Let's see if Mungo Berti is still there. Are you still there? All right, maybe we can still get Mungo Berti. If not, then I will do the next paragraph. Okay. Andre, okay. Yeah, Mungo Berti is there. Andre, if you can use your phone, it's fine. Just try to use your phone. Okay. So, would you like to volunteer to read a paragraph? All right, we'll throw it out to our general public viewing public, which is fine as well. Let's see. Give Mungo Berti a chance to read. Hopefully they accept. And again, we've got lots of members. Chandra, Kuak, I'm encouraging you to read. Okay. All right. Well, to kind of give you a... Okay. All right. Mungo Berti says, okay. All right. Let's try it, Mungo Berti. Hello, Mungo Berti.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
I am doing good. All right, Mungo Berti. So, speak nice and loud. You sound a little bit quiet. So, speak nice and loud. I'll ask you to do the same as Arda and Saeed. So just read a paragraph and then we'll talk about it, okay?
Okay, where are you from?
Sorry, Mungaberry, before we start, can you just get a little bit closer to the microphone so we can hear you a bit better?
Okay, Master.
All right, well, let's do this. Okay, Mungaberry, when you're
Can I
ready.
ask you any question? Can I ask you any question?
After we do the paragraph, yes. Okay, let's do the reading first, okay?
Okay.
All right, so whenever you're ready, start reading from While the Man Walking in the Desert.
Okay. Master. Master.
Yes, so Mungaberry, we're waiting for you to start reading from While the Man Walking in the Desert.
Wild man. Wild man.
Okay, Mungaberry, I'm not sure if we're understanding each other clearly, so I don't want to pressure you to read. But if you have a question that's off topic, you can send me an email too, okay?
Okay.
All right, okay, we'll talk later. All right, that's Mungaberry. I think Mungaberry was more interested in a question than reading, but that's okay. I'm going to let him know to send me an email. So send me your question to adrian@aehelp.com, and I am going to read a paragraph, give everybody a little bit of a mental break here, okay? All right, so let me do this paragraph and then we'll do it in the chat together, students, okay? All right, here we go. So, let's do this, all right? So I'm going to read from here. You can read with me, okay? So, While the Man Walking in the Desert anecdote is a popular Mirage narrative. The most common mirage in everyday life actually takes place on long, straight, flat highways on hot, sunny days. Driving along such a highway on such a day, it is common to see what looks like a puddle of water on the road in the distance. But once that point is reached, the puddle is gone and is instead located further in the distance. What is going on here? All right, so again, same question. What is this paragraph about? Okay, give me a nice answer, members, in the chat. So what is this paragraph about that I just read? Okay, and again, this speed, you don't need to go faster here. All right, this speed is absolutely okay. So in a simple sentence, what is this paragraph about? So Saeed says it's mirages that we face in real life. Okay. Arda says it's an example of a mirage. Okay. Rashika says experiencing mirages in everyday life. Okay, my answer here would be the most common experience of a mirage. Okay, that would be mine. So again, take a look at the first part of here. So While the Man Walking in the Desert anecdote is a popular mirage. The most common mirage in everyday life, right? So that's a key part of this paragraph here. So I think the best answer so far is by Rashika, because Rashika says experiencing mirages in everyday life, okay? And that's good because that was a key part here. So now I want to match the correct list of heading with my answer to what this paragraph is about. What's the closest match? Which number is the closest match? Saeed says it's number 5, a common experience of a mirage. Does everybody agree with Saeed? Arda does. I do too. And I'm sure Rashika does based on Rashika's answer. So yeah, The answer is 5, and now we move on. Okay, so we move on to the next paragraph. I'm just going to quickly take a look here to see if anybody else has volunteered. I think Muhammad Dayab is trying to volunteer, so let me give a chance to Muhammad Dayab. Okay, let me see if... Okay, yeah, so Muhammad Dayab says, I want to try. All right, are you ready? We'll let Muhammad Dayab read a paragraph. And again, students, it doesn't matter if you don't have perfect English, or, you know, if you're still on the progressive part, that's totally fine. Okay, Muhammad Dayab, let me reach out to you. That's how you learn, right? By trying. Okay. Okay. Hello, Muhammad Dayab. Are you there? I heard you picked up, but I don't hear your voice. So I'm wondering if maybe you don't have your microphone enabled. Okay, check your system with another student, and then I'll look for you a little bit later on or in the next class. Okay, if you can hear me, right? So check the microphone. Check your mic. All right, let's see, maybe Marina here. Sure. Are you ready? Okay. And again, members, I'm still looking for you. So as soon as I see a member pop in, I will reach out to you. Okay, let's try Marina.
Hello, sir.
Hi, Marina. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, sir?
I'm doing pretty well also. Thank you for asking, Marina. Okay, Marina, are you ready to do a little bit of reading?
Yes, sir.
Okay, awesome. So let me just hop back to the exam book here, and then, yeah, just do your best. Don't stress about it. It's just some reading. Nothing special.
Okay,
We're reading about a mirage. So let's go to paragraph D here, okay, which is just above my head. So whenever you're ready, start reading from The Cause of Mirages Is. Okay?
Okay. The cause of mirages is the difference in heat between the ground and the air. Tarmac, the surface material of highways, can get very hot in the summer and release heat, rising the temperature of the air immediately above the tarmac. The air higher up is much cooler, so there is a sharp temperature gradient or rate of change. In the air above the highway, it is known from physics that light is refracted or bent differently through air at different temperatures. The sharp temperature
From here, gradient.
gradient in the air immediately above the highway causes the light rays to bend upwards towards the cooler, denser air. Because the human visual system interprets all light rays as being straight, which in general is true, we interpret these bent rays as originating from the ground. What is seen on the road in the distance is simply a reflection of the sky on the ground, which from afar looks precisely like a puddle of water in the middle of the road.
Very nice. Okay, you got faster and faster. All right, so by the end of this paragraph, Marina, I would say you're almost reading too fast. You can even slow down a bit and just really focus on making sure that you understand what you're reading, okay? And you did great. So that was really nice reading. Let me correct one pronunciation, okay, with the word air. It's not yar, it's air, air. Okay, so just repeat after me. Air.
Air.
Air. Gradient in the air immediately above the highway. Okay.
Gradient in the air immediately above the highway.
Yeah, good. Yeah, it's a tricky one. Okay, that was really good. So, quick question. What is this paragraph about? What do you think? So this paragraph that you read, what is it about in one simple sentence?
This actually said about how Mirage work.
Yeah, very good. Stop there. So you said how mirages work. Let's make that a statement. So the way mirages work.
How Mirage work for him on him.
Yeah, even simpler. So to answer these list of headings correctly, you do not need to give a complex answer to this question. What is the paragraph about? Just 4 or 5 words is usually enough. So the way mirages work. Okay. All right, Marina. So let's take a look at the choices and then tell me which one matches closest to what you just told me. So here are the choices. And which one of these is the closest match to the way mirages work?
Yes, sir. The cause of mirages.
Wonderful. Yeah, and you just picked
7.
up. Yeah, you just got a point on your IELTS exam. Exactly. So number 7. Very good. Okay, so cause of mirages, the way they work,
sir.
it's the
Thank
same
you.
idea, right? Okay, so that's exactly how you want to do it. Now,
Yes, sir.
notice how I asked you to think about the answer first. So I said, what is this paragraph about? And then you answered first on your own, right? What a lot of students do, Marina, in the IELTS exam is they don't think about the answer first. They look at the answers right away. Okay, so what they do is instead of thinking like, okay, this paragraph is about the way mirages work, they start looking at these list of headings and then they hope that the answer just kind of jumps into their hand. Do you know what I mean? So that's dangerous because and while I'm telling you this, Marina, of course I'm telling everybody who's watching this. So if you don't think about what the paragraph is first on your own, but you look at the answers right away, then it's easy to make a mistake. Like for example, for this paragraph, a lot of people might think how the brain processes mirages would be the correct answer, right? But it's not, because it's not about how the brain processes mirages. This paragraph actually tells us about the physics behind mirages. So the way that light rays are bent over different heat temperatures. So it's not just simply how the brain is processing mirages. It's actually about the cause of mirages. So when you give the answer yourself first, it's going to be much more accurate than if we try to search for the answer. Do you see what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so thank you so much, Marina, for that wonderful example of how to get these list of headings questions correct by taking the correct steps. Okay, and keep up the good work. Thank you.
Welcome.
Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye for now.
Bye, sir.
Okay. All right, everybody. And you can give Marina an applause or a thumbs up. She was very brave and she did a fantastic job. And that was a really good example of how to correctly answer these list of headings questions. Okay, let's see if we have any more. Okay. Carolina, yeah, you're always moderating and you have very few chances to kind of join in on the fun. So Carolina says, I would like to read. Are you ready? All right. Let's give Carolina a chance. She's always so busy making sure to keep the chat clean that she doesn't get as many chances to practice. So I'm happy if you're volunteering. All right, here we go. Practice. Hello, Carolina.
Hello, Adrian. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good. All right. I'm happy you're volunteering. You're so busy moderating, making sure everybody's behaving themselves in the chat that It's good for you to practice as well. Okay, Carolina, let me just hop back to the passage, and then you can start reading paragraph E, which is right from here. So whenever you're ready, begin with "that humans see."
Paragraph E, right?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay. That humans see the phenomenon as puddle of water is not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence, however. It is the result of a rapid problem-solving process in the brain which attempts to make sense of conflicting phenomena. Since humans are now accustomed to seeing non-straight light rays, the brain must make sense of them as best it can. As best it can. Water on the highway is not the only explanation for what the mind sees ahead. A window pane or a mirror may be on the road instead. If there was a large mirror on the road, for example, the visual phenomenon would be identical. This I cannot see your screen yet.
It would be identical. The driver would see.
The driver would see a reflection of the sky on the road in the distance. So why is it that we always interpret the mirage as water on the road and not a mirror in the road or something else? It is because the brain, without consciously thinking, makes the best inference it can. The average person in their catalog of experiences does not have a real, non-mirage experience of seeing a mirror in the middle of the highway. Conversely, the average person, there is a delay between what I am reading and your. Conversely, the average person does have a real experience of seeing a puddle on a highway. Any sufficiently rainy day will produce this effect. The brain compares the probabilities of these two and other possibilities and concludes that the phenomenon must be a puddle of water. Knowing that the water is not, in fact, there does nothing to dispel us from the visual impression that water is on the way. The brain's visual machine machinery is not subject to the logic of the rest of the brain. No matter how hard a person tries to unsee the mirage, it will always be there.
Whew, long one. You got the longest paragraph by far. All right. Okay, Carolina, that was good. When you're doing the actual IELTS exam, don't reread. So I know it's different because you're reading aloud, but you reread several times when you realize the pronunciation's a little bit wrong or the word's a little bit off, then you go back and then you reread. That's good practice for home, but make sure that in the real IELTS, when you're doing the exam, you don't actually reread because it breaks your concentration and it breaks your comprehension. Do you know what I mean by this?
Yes, sure.
Okay, so yeah, in the actual official IELTS, and of course I'm telling everybody this, you want to just read continuously without rereading, okay? Because then your comprehension will go down. Okay, quick question, Carolina. Long paragraph, but we can still answer this in a simple way. What is this paragraph about?
This paragraph is about how the brain interprets a mirage.
Very nice. Yeah, exactly, right? It's talking basically about the reason that our brain is seeing the water instead of other images, right? So you said the way our brain interprets a mirage, right? Very good. That's a great answer.
Mirage.
Right. So which one of these is the best answer from our list of headings, do you think?
Number 2.
Yeah, so can you read number 2 for us?
How the brain processes mirage.
Yeah, very nice. Of course, because you realized cleverly that the word process here is basically a synonym for the word interpret. So interpreting is processing. Interpreting is a very close synonym to processing. When we interpret, we process. So you're right, and you would pick up a point on your IELTS exam reading by doing that, okay? So good. I can feel that everybody's kind of starting to get the idea of how to do this, and I know you've participated regularly in these classes, so you're doing a great job with this, Carolina. Okay, Carolina, thank you so much for volunteering, and thank you for moderating the chat and helping everybody to communicate better.
My pleasure to help.
All right. Have a great day. Bye, Carolina.
Bye.
Okay, give Carolina a thumbs up, everybody. She deserves it. She works really hard. There we go. Mian saying thumbs up. Okay, and let's see. We'll take one more. Now we've got lots of volunteers. Let's see if Franklin looks like Franklin's like, I want to volunteer. Okay, Franklin, you got the last paragraph here, the conclusion. Are you ready? Hopefully we can make a good connection here and hear your voice. All right, we've got one more. All right, Franklin says yes. Okay, Franklin.
Hello.
Hi, Franklin. How are you?
I'm fine.
Fantastic. I'm doing good. We're in the home stretch, Franklin, meaning that we are on the last paragraph. We're on the conclusion.
Okay.
So you're going to be our anchor. You're going to bring it home. Are you ready?
Ready.
All right. Okay, so paragraph F. Whenever you're ready to start, from the beginning here, interestingly, mirages can actually be. So from that part, go ahead. Whenever you're ready.
Okay. Interestingly, miracles can actually be captured on film because refracted light rays really are forming an image on the road. What the false image is mistaken for, however, is entirely up to the interpretations of the human mind.
So, Franklin, what is this paragraph about? In your own words, keep it simple.
So actually, the film, an image on the road. The film can interpretation from the human mind.
I would keep it simpler than that. The film can capture a mirage.
Capture. Yeah.
Okay. And you said miracle, but it's actually mirage here. Can you repeat that word after me? Mirage.
Mirage.
Okay, good. Yeah. So the film can capture a mirage. And then we could say, like, if we wanted to, we could say, and the interpretation is up to the human mind. But go with the simple answer. When you're not sure, always choose the simple answer. And the simple answer here is film can capture a mirage. So which one of these list of headings do you think is the closest to film can capture a mirage? Don't overthink it.
Wait. Film can capture a mirage. The film. 11.
11 is the fallible human mind. That means the human mind that can be tricked. We didn't say that as the answer. That number 11 doesn't include any of our answer. So make sure you always pick one that includes your answer. Which one of these includes your answer?
Number 2 and number 6. Mirage.
Number 6 would be the need for water.
Sorry. 7, I mean.
7 would be the cause of mirages. We didn't talk about that. So definitely don't choose any answers that don't include that. Which one includes the can be filmed?
4.
That's right.
Filmable.
Yeah, filmable. Yeah. Always pick the one that includes your answer. So filmable, but ultimately up to the mind, right? So always go with that one. I think what's happening, and this happens to a lot of students, is they tend to overthink it. And they're picking answers that don't actually match with what they answer. So always go with what you answer. It's your best chance for getting it right. Okay. So filmable, always means can be, right? So filmable, can be filmed. So that's the correct answer. It's number 4. So you want to put number 4 in there to make sure you get it correct. All right, Franklin, I appreciate you volunteering for the conclusion. That was fantastic.
But this answer is actually come out for the third attempts, not the first attempts.
That's okay. That's okay, Franklin. It takes a bit of guiding, but the take-home message here, okay, what you want to take with you is trust your brain. So if your brain says the answer to what this paragraph is about is mirages can be filmed, you have to choose an answer that is showing that response, okay? So showing what your mind is telling you, okay? Don't choose a different one, all right? Don't let the choices trick you into doubting yourself, okay?
Okay.
All right. Keep up the good studies, and we have another reading class coming in about 30 minutes, Franklin. So come back and volunteer for another paragraph, okay?
Thank you very much. What is the meaning of mirage?
Mirage is when you see water in the distance on a hot day. So if there's a really hot day and you think you're looking at water, but it's not actually water, it's just a reflection of the sky. That's a mirage.
Oh, all right.
Okay?
All right.
It's that visual trick on the brain.
Visual trick.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Okay, Franklin, have an awesome
Thank you
day.
very much.
You're very
Thank
welcome.
you very much.
Thank you. Bye, Franklin. All right. That was Franklin. Give Franklin a thumbs up. Okay, everybody. And I have run out of time, but not to worry because we have another reading class coming up in 30 minutes, everyone. So again, if you want to get all these videos and practice exams and tips and tricks, go to aehelp.com for academic IELTS and gieltshelp.com for general IELTS. Sign up for the premium package. It's a one-time payment. You get lifetime access. It's really worth it. Thank you for all of our reading volunteers so far. Arda, Saeed, Carolina, Franklin, and Marina. And hopefully we'll have some more volunteers in the next class. So we have another reading passage coming up for the next class, and we'll be looking at different kinds of IELTS reading questions. So come back for that and join me in a little bit less than 30 minutes, and actually in about 25 minutes. So hopefully I will see you back here soon. I'm Adrian. I'm signing out from beautiful Victoria momentarily, but I will be back. Bye for now.